As we enter this house of worship through the voice of Roy T. Bennett, let me remind you of the top 15 things money can't buy. Time, happiness, inner peace, integrity, love, character, manners, health, respect, morals, patience, class, common sense, dignity, and finally, trust. Laurie will light the chalice here in the sanctuary. And those of you at home, you are invited to light your own chalice now. At times, our own light goes out, and it is rekindled by a spark from another person. Each of us has cause to think with deep gratitude of those who have lit the flame within us and the community. Thank you. Before we sing the first hymn, let me remind our remote participants to leave yourselves muted. However, we want you and whoever is with you to sing as big and loud as you like. Make it a joyous experience. So please stand in body or spirit and sing the opening hymn, Wake Now My Senses, number 298.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reasons, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist community of Cambria. We are glad you have joined us today. Our UUCC sanctuary sits on land that the Salinan and Chumash indigenous peoples historically inhabited, and we honor their contribution to this region and give thanks for the opportunity to gather in faith on their unceded territory. Let us respect their legacy and protect their history as we occupy the sacred space. As Unitarian Universalists, we celebrate religious diversity and welcome all who journey in search of faith and spirituality. The UUCC is a lay-led congregation run by the democratic process. We invite speakers from different religious traditions and spiritual or scientific backgrounds and community leaders to speak at our pulpit. We encourage presentations covering a variety of topics and areas of interest that connect with the UU7 principles. Today's service centers around the fourth principle. We affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. My name is Randy Schwalbe, and I am your worship associate for this morning's service. Hi, Dolores and Francesca, and all of you. Okay. I would like to extend a special welcome to today's guests and visitors. We're glad you've joined us this morning. And if you wish, please raise your hand if you'd like to introduce yourself or your guest. So, yes.
Yeah, Michael.
Hi, Michael. Welcome. Okay.
I'm Donna. I'm a guest of Laura's and came in from Nipomo today.
Yay, welcome.
I'm Fred, a local yokel.
We love the yokels. Okay. All right. Well, welcome. If you're not on our mailing list, please visit the UUCC website at uuccambria.org so that we can keep you informed about all of our activities. Members and friends, please check out what's happening. The e-blast sent to you every week. This is a great way to keep up to date with our latest news. And if you wish to see this or any of the past Zoom services, the recordings can be found on the UUCC website and on Facebook. So again, good morning and welcome to everyone. The affirmation is both a recognition of the nature of this community as well as a promise to which we aspire. Let us now sing the affirmation.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in freedom, and to help, and to help, and to help one another.
That was written by Jan. We set aside this time for brief announcements that will be of interest to our community and friends. Please be succinct when announcing upcoming events or updates to UUCC-related policies and activities. If you have an announcement, please raise your hand. When Andy or I call on you, come up to the podium or unmute yourself, then speak. Dolores.
Tomorrow is women's group at 2 o'clock, and I'll send out an email today. And if you want to just notify me if you want to join it. It's on Zoom, by the way. And then also I put on the little board out in the front there, sign up for potlucks. Diane and I did the April potluck here, and it was great. And a lot of people don't really want to do the potlucks at their house anymore for whatever reason. I know what mine is, but okay, so it works out great here, and it was wonderful. It was greatly attended. So please sign up for the months that you have, and I'll also put it in the newsletter, and then you can contact me and we'll stick it on. Okay.
Okay. Oh, Jan.
Just my usual announcement, but some people haven't heard it, that we were successful in our scholarship fundraising. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're doing the scholarship service on June 2nd, and we have all the recipients coming, eight students, seven from Coast Union and one from Leffingwell, yes. And also the guidance counselor, Samantha Brissette, is coming, and she'll say a few words, as well as Justin Gish, who runs the program at Leffingwell. So please come, please come. Thank you.
Good morning. Two brief announcements. One, the men's group will meet here in the sanctuary and on Zoom tomorrow morning, being the first Monday of the month at 10 a.m. I'll send out an email with that connection. And then on Wednesday at 4 p.m., the RE committee will be hosting our monthly TED Talk discussion group online. It's a Zoom group. Don Howell will be hosting this month. And we watch a brief TED Talk. They're about 15, 20 minutes long, and then discuss it from 4 p.m. until 5:15. And that's on Zoom, so you can wear your pajamas, you can stay at home and participate. I'll send out that link as well. Both of those links will be in What's Happening, our newsletter, in addition.
Yeah, what's the buzz? Tell me what's happening in honor of JC Superstar. But what's the buzz here in our own little community? We are having a covenant meeting, which means we're going to hear about what's going on with each and every one of us. We come and we share the experience we're having with one another. So please come, if you're a member or a friend, and covenant with us June 7th at 11 o'clock on a Friday. Thank you. What's the buzz?
Okay, couple of announcements. This later in June, there'll be a GA meeting. Oh, I'll do this one first then. Okay. Every year during August, we invite people in our community here to read somebody else's sermon. It gives us on the worship community a little break from having to find a speaker every Sunday. And so right now I have 2 people signed up and I need 2 more. So if you're interested, if there's a sermon out there that or something you've read that really has been inspirational to you and you'd like to share it with us, we'd love to hear it from you. So give me a call or email if you're interested in participating for the summer series in August. And then my second announcement is that GA is coming up, the General Assembly meeting, and this year's meetings will be discussing and voting on Article 2 of the bylaws. And there's a lot of literature on that counter there and also in our narthex that Dolores has put together. So please avail yourself upon that and get up to speed with that. Our 2 delegates will be voting, and they are Mary Schwalbe and Andy Fagan. So you're welcome to talk to them about your thoughts and feelings about this whole business. So we would like to have you be involved. Okay, any other announcements? Andy?
Lots of folks online, but no announcements, Randy. So
Okay.
Back to you.
All right. Next week, Dwight Durand, the Baha'i Faith, will present the oneness and likeness of all religions. Okay, so don't miss that. We take the time to celebrate all those who are having a birthday this month. Yay! Birthdays are special, a day when we celebrate your entry into this world and honor your existence. If you have a birthday this month, please raise your hand. When Andy or I call on you, please reveal your special date. Okay. So, Ted.
May 24th.
May 24th, okay. Great, Donna?
May 12th on Mother's Day.
Wow.
27th.
May 27th, that's art, okay. Yeah. May 6th, that's tomorrow. I did the calculation. Wow, a lot of May birthdays this month. That's terrific. Okay, well, all of you deserve a big special party. So, so whoever your special relation is, make sure it happens. Okay. All right. This birthday candle honors all of our friends and family members who are also celebrating birthdays this month, as well as yours. Oh, there it is. I forgot to turn it. Okay, that's our special birthday candle. All right. Joys and concerns is a time for sharing personal celebrations, sorrows, reflections, or gratitude. This is a time for community building, so please exercise brevity. This sacred moment should not be used to sermonize. Thank you. The collective flames of these candles embody all the joys and concerns which may have gone unspoken today, but are also deeply felt in this community. The first reading is a poem titled "The Journey" by Mary Oliver, an American poet who is renowned for her lifelong habit of solitary walks in the wild. One day you finally knew what you had to do and began. Though the voices around you kept shouting their bad advice, though the whole house began to tremble and you felt the old tug at your ankles. "Mend my life," each voice cried, but you didn't stop. You knew what you had to do, though the wind pried with its stiff fingers at the very foundations, though their melancholy was terrible. It was already late enough and a wild night, and the road full of fallen branches and stones. But little by little, as you left their voices behind, the stars began to burn through the sheets of clouds, and there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own. That kept you company as you strode deeper and deeper into the world, determined to do the only thing you could do, determined to save the only life you could save. Let us join in a time of meditation, of prayer, and of silence. Let us seek the quiet and the calm, laying aside our struggles. And in the silence, may there be a reverence in our hearts, a thankfulness within our spirit, and a deepened understanding of the meaning of our lives. Let us enter into the stillness. Quiet your active mind. Soothe your troubled heart. Connect with your incorporeal soul. Ignite your dormant spirit. Reach beyond your essence to find your inner peace. The second reading is an excerpt from the Stanford Commencement Address from Steve Jobs, visionary founder and CEO of Apple Computer and Pixar Animation Studios, delivered on June 12, 2005. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no, for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. Doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is a doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try to tell your kids everything you thought you'd have the next 10 years to let them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach and into my intestines, put a needle in my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor. I was sedated, but my wife, who was there, told me that when they viewed the cells under the microscope, the doctors started crying because it turned out to be a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery and I'm fine now. That was the closest I've been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I get for a few more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you with a bit more certainty than when death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It is life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it is quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Please stand in body or spirit and sing Morning Has Come, number 1000.
Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines.
Today's talk is titled Listening to the Voice of Your Deepest Knowing, to be delivered by Laurie Gardner. Laurie is a 4-time Harvard graduate who passionately believes that everyone deserves a fun, meaningful life. Laurie has served as the close personal advisor and coach to Fortune 500 CEOs, heads of countries, governors, mayors, and other top business, political, and educational leaders worldwide. A highly sought-after expert in personal and organizational development, she has 30 years of multilingual public speaking experience and is a frequent media guest. A former high school teacher and principal for inner city gang kids and a 3-time startup CEO, Laurie spent 2 decades spearheading a global school reform movement and is also a master practitioner in over 6 dozen body/mind/spirit wellness techniques, including intuitive coaching. Known for her quick wit, warmth, and laser-like insight, she has a unique talent for immediately getting to the crux of the issue and communicating practical and effective solutions. Yowza. Laura received graduate and undergraduate degrees in education, psychology, and comparative world religions from Harvard University, where she also taught quantum physics. I don't know how you did that. Her first book, The Road to Shine, is rated 5 stars on Amazon and has been featured in nationwide radio, podcasts, and TV. Her second book, The Road to Joy, is pending publication. An avid world explorer and former Outward Bound wilderness instructor, Laurie has traveled to 60 countries and 40 states and speaks 5 languages. However, her greatest accomplishment to date is being cast by yours truly for the upcoming Follies. So don't miss it. She's in the cast. Laurie.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome, Zoomers. Good to see you again. Thanks for having me back. I was here a little while ago, and I'm going to have some fun again, hopefully with you guys today. We're talking about another topic, and Randy, thank you for the introduction. The Follies, we'll see how we do on I went in with my arm twisted. Anyway, so for those of you who were here last time, you know that I'll be doing some speaking, but I also like to get you guys involved. So we'll do a little bit of nothing too scary, nothing too active, but just a little. It's one thing to talk about, listening to your deepest knowing. What I want to do is have some fun playing with it so we can see if we can access it in a few seconds ourselves. All right. So the first thing I'd like to say is that in today's world, it's really hard to know whom to trust, which is why it's more important than ever to be able to trust ourselves, right? We heard that Mary Oliver talked about following your inner voice. Steve Jobs on his near deathbed is counseling newly minted adults to listen to their intuition, which knows what they truly want to become. Einstein and several musicians and artists are quoted as saying that it was their intuition that they called their muses that gave them their greatest ideas and inspiration. And so we all have the ability to hear our intuition, whether you call it your gut instinct, your deepest knowing, your secret Scooby sense, it doesn't matter, right? It's that part of you deep down that's your inner wisdom. And it's not a gift of the special few. You don't need a crystal ball and a headscarf. You can Halloween it up if you want to, but it's right here. We carry it around with us. Many of you have probably heard the voice of your intuition before, knowing whom to marry, or whether to take a job, or when to retire. Often our intuition comes bubbling up in quiet moments, maybe when you're drinking your coffee, in a hot shower, out on a walk. And so for me, it's not some hard to attain, have to take years to it's more like going to the gym. It's a muscle. And the more you develop it, the easier and the quicker it is to hear your deepest knowing. The question becomes, how do we hear it on demand? Right? We don't always have hours to sit on a meditation cushion or take a nice long hike all the way out to the cove, right? So how can we access it quickly? And I wish I had given Andy a slide. Sorry, I'm going to draw this one in the air for you guys. All right. So everything that I do these days as an author and a speaker and a coach has been focusing on this topic of how can we access our intuition quickly and effectively and pragmatically. For those of you who don't know, I come from a small town in New Jersey. Yes, it is smaller than Cambria, not as small as Harmony, thankfully, but 1,100 people. The deer also outnumbered us 3-1. And so there was not a lot of opportunities to be exposed to this type of information, which is why I love writing and speaking and doing interactive stuff with it now, because it's really for me, as I mentioned, the most important thing we can do is to know our true selves and shine by listening to what we know deep down. Now, also in New Jersey, well, all right, let me tell you this other story first. So I was in a workshop, and this woman said to me, which is a fair question. She said, "Laurie, I have so many voices in my head. How the heck am I supposed to know which one is the voice of my intuition?" That's a good question, right? So I like to describe the voice of your intuition by what it is not. Your intuition is never blameful or critical of yourself or anyone else. Your intuition does not jump around, the Buddhists call it monkey mind, from tree to tree, flitting all over the place. It's not reactive. I feel this way, I feel that way, I feel it. No. Nor does it tell the same poor me story again and again. In fact, your intuition doesn't need to repeat itself at all. In New Jersey, it was a small public school, K-8, we had 20 kids per class. We had to be shipped to the next town for a high school. But when we were in the K-8 school, whenever a kid said something really obvious, like, "Laurie's wearing a red dress," another kid would go, "Well, no, duh," like, "Doy," right? That's the voice of your intuition. No, duh. I already know. Right? Okay. So here's my air slide, Andy. I'm going to draw it for you guys. So at Shine Your Light, I started a nonprofit called Shine Your Light, and our mission is helping people to be their true selves and shine. We also give scholarships for each one, reach one. For those who buy coaching and classes, we give it away to those who can't afford it. So this is what I call the Shine Your Light triangle to access your intuition. All right. Imagine a big inverted triangle, right? The first layer I call calm the noise. Relax your body, your mind, and your heart. This is the stuff we're most familiar with in general meditation, right? Why is that important to hearing your deepest voice? Because if you are all Twitter-pated with distraction and stress or depression or anxiety or whatever other radio static you have going on in your brain, you absolutely cannot hear your deeper voice. There's too much going on, right? We don't all have, again, hours and hours to cut through. So in a little bit, we're going to try some 30-second calm the noise tools to kind of just, where am I? Okay, I'm here. Now, this is only layer one. A lot of programs stop there. Once you quiet the noise, the thoughts, etc., that's it. You can stay at layer one. There's a lot of juicy stuff just in that practice of quieting the mind and the body and the heart. Layer two, if you really want to have fun listening to what your inner wisdom knows, I call get to the root. What's really going on? Why am I procrastinating in the first place? What's underneath this weirdness I have with this other person, this tension? Like, what's really going on? And there's all sorts of fun, juicy tools intuitively to look under the hood. Again, I am a practical girl from New Jersey. I am both woo-woo and I am practical. I like to apply what I learned. It's one thing to have a big aha, like, oh my gosh, that's why. Take that understanding and what can I do with that to be happier now? Is there an action step I need to take? Is there some internal attitude adjustment? Both. But how do we act on the aha? So it's the full, if you really want to do it, you go through all 3 layers. Let me calm. Okay, I can hear it. Oh boy, this is interesting. What's going on here? And let me take it and run with it. So today we're just going to do like little quickies. I know I'm on the clock. So we're just going to do some little quickies. And what do I want to do? Okay, close your eyes. I'm tapping into my intuition. If you guys see me close my eyes up here, I'm not like narcoleptic. I'm here. I'm just checking in. All right, close your eyes. We'll do a quickie. Okay. First of all, I know it has been terrible weather off and on here, alternating with sunshine, but today, right now in this room, it is officially 70 degrees and warm. I'd like everybody to just imagine themselves on a lounger in the sun. It's not too hot, perfect temperature. And as you're on your lounger, envision yourself like an ice cream cone melting in the sun. Start with your head, dissolve your brain in all directions. Melt your jaw, your heart, your shoulders, anywhere as you scan head to toe. That feels tight, just melt, melt, melt. Melt, melt, melt. Any area that still feels tight, go ahead and relax it 10% more. Could be a muscle, could be your heart, could be your brain, 10% more. And 10% more. And if you want to breathe, go ahead and breathe in and out. The type of breathing I like to do, I call it quick, calm, cleansing breaths. First thing to notice as you're breathing is, am I inhaling all the way, or am I shallow breathing from the waist up? And when I exhale, am I letting it all go, or am I holding my breath? Because if you are holding your breath or shallow breathing, that is a sign of cumulative stress. You're not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger, people, not anymore, right? So really just do a couple breaths. And as you're inhaling and exhaling deeply, what I like to do is to inhale a phrase that I want to take in, like, this too shall pass. And as I exhale, I say the word calm, C-A-L-M. I'll know when it's time to know. Calm. Everything is happening in the best interest of everyone involved. Calm, or whatever feels good to you. And now, as we are relaxed in our body, our mind, think of anything that you're carrying around that feels pressing or heavy, like a cement jacket, whether it's other people you have to take care of, pressing to-do tasks. Just really feel for 2 seconds the weight of this heavy cement jacket you've been walking around and like, oh, this is some of you, it looks like you're wearing hoodies. This is in your heads too, all right? So like, oh my goodness, right? And now envision taking off the hood, unzipping the front of that jacket, opening your arms out wide to the side as you feel all that heaviness of to-do and burden slip off your arms onto the ground and instantly explode on the ground as you continue to walk a few steps forward. Some people, when they ditch the cement jacket, they like imagine catapulting up into the air, watching it explode far below on the ground. Let's come on back into our beach chairs and put a bubble around you now. This is your space. Above you, below you, all sides of you. Mine, for some reason, looks like a kid's bouncy house. It's made of rubber. You can do whatever you want for your bubble, but the important thing is it only has one door that only opens from the inside. The doctor will not see you now. Shut the door. Right? It doesn't matter what's happening around you. I like a rubber bubble because any stress or nagging or anything, ba-boing, 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 I'm bouncing it off all day long. It doesn't matter. I'm in my bubble. Some people put a color, a nature scene. Other people want wide open space. Your bubble's your own. It's a very handy tool. And as you're all safe and snuggy in your bubble, nice and relaxed, next imagine yourself under the most beautiful, perfect pressure and temperature waterfall or shower. I go to Kauai for some reason, but just be under your perfect temperature pressure shower. I call this next one the power shower of love. Imagine coming down from the heavens. If I could give it a color, I know some of you are designers, it's like a clearish white, a million diamonds sparkling in the sun. This is highest vibration, pure light, pure love. And you bring this power shower of pure love down from the heavens, down through the top of your head, down through your body, front, back, all sides of you, washing away any heaviness or ick and stick that has been weighing you down. And as soon as it hits the ground, it instantly incinerates on contact. The earth just blows it up. Negative thoughts, negative emotions, it's all just energy. And as our last quickie, as you're under the power shower, imagine a beautiful wide open space, a field, a beach, and visualize your truest, best self, that I call your highest self, walking toward you and you toward them. And as you meet up in the middle, start to notice the qualities of who am I when I am my truest and my best. Everyone's highest self is unique, like a snowflake is unique. This is your energy, your qualities. So notice, am I a big presence? Am I laughing? Am I funny? Am I quiet and dignified? Am I confident, peaceful, calm? And go ahead and give your highest self a huge bear hug, or some people like to imagine jumping into their truest best self and looking out through those eyes. And as you merge with who you really are, say in your head, I am, and repeat those qualities. I am strong. I am wise. I am loving. I am kind. And as you pulse into every cell of your being, infusing it throughout yourself, this is who I am. Go ahead and radiate outward from your heart center, up, down, all sides of you, into your bubble, that quality, that energy, all the truths of who you are. I say filling our bubble with our true selves, our highest selves, is like walking around in our own clothes. Doesn't matter what's happening out there in your bubble. Wah, 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 wah. It's like the Snoopy teacher in the front of the room, like, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is our first intuitive, fun check, 30-second one. This is called the quadrinity check. We're going to ask our intuition, right? Now that we're in our highest self, which is a part of us that can voice the intuition, what does each part of us need? So I'm going to ask you guys in a second, what does your head need right now? Whatever bubbles up, boom. What does my head need right now? Does it need to organize the closet? Or maybe my brain needs a break and to just go for a walk. Whatever your head needs, next ask, what do I need to do to give that to my head? See what arises. Next, ask your body, what does my body most need today? How can I give that to my body? What about my heart, my emotions? What does my heart need today? And how can I give that to my heart? And last, ask your highest self, your spirit, your soul, your intuition, same, different words. Any messages, anything you need to know today. Go ahead and open your eyes. All right. Anyone want to share what any part of their body? Kelly, any part of your body that gave you any thoughts today?
When you said head, I took it to mean my physical head as opposed to my brain, but it wants rest.
Yeah, your brain needs a break. Oh, my brain needs a break too. And how are you going to give your brain a break? You're going to give your brain a break by lying down. That is an excellent choice. I love it. Okay, another part of the body. Michael, did you have any parts of your body talking to you today intuitively?
There's more vitamin D from the sun.
Ah, the body needs a little vitamin D. Okay, the action plan. How are we going to do that?
When I get off work, I'm going to take a nice, lovely walk along our
Ooh, I love it. Perfect. Okay, let's do one more. Donna, any part of you that
My heart said to continue to stay in gratitude.
and how are you going to stay in gratitude?
Being present.
Stay present and be grateful for what's around you. So you're all experts at this intuitive stuff. I'm going to go now. Yeah, see what I mean? It's just not as hard as we think to quickly. We took 2 minutes to get quiet, and then you're starting already to get that deeper knowing. All right, we have time for one more. Yeah, let's do one more. Okay, this one I call a trustometer. Trustometer. I made up the tool. I don't know how to say it. Trust, like thermometer, trustometer, trustometer. And it's my word. How many of you have any pets? Dogs, animals, right? Okay. Animals intuitively know whom to trust, right? You ever watch it? I wrote a blog once called "Are You as Savvy as Your Dog?" Right? So you watch a dog, if it feels comfortable, it's like going to stick around and wag its tail like, oh, this is great. If it doesn't feel safe, it's out of there, right? It's gone. We have that same ability to intuitively know whom to trust. So this is another quickie way to do it. I'm going to explain the rules, and then we're going to give it a go. It's another like 30-second one. Okay. In a little bit, I'm about to name different people in your life, and you're going to intuitively discern how much you should trust them. Has nothing to do with how much you like them or don't like them. Doesn't even have anything to do with how well you know them. This is your intuition letting you know. Okay? Now it's going to be a 1 to 10 scale. Aces are low, 10s are high. 1 means like, I don't trust you farther than I can throw you. Okay? 10 is like, I trust you with my life. And I'm going to throw out different categories of people, and you guys can fill in. All right, close your eyes. And also, it doesn't matter if these people are dead or alive. Doesn't matter. Intuition. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust your mother? First number that comes to mind. How much do you trust your father? If you have any brothers, give them one number, one at a time. If more than one, brother number 1, what's the number? Brother number 2. Any sisters? Same thing, sister number 1. How much do I trust her? Sister number 2. Any children? Child number 1, number 2. Any pets? How much do I trust my cat, my bird, my snake? Any neighbors? Whoever pops to mind. How much do you trust your postal worker? 1 to 10. And most importantly, how much do you trust yourself? When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All right, let's hear back. So we'll do a hand raising. How many of you were surprised with any of that scan of like, ooh, there's some people that I don't trust as much as I thought? Interesting. Anyone? Yeah, a few of you nodding. How many of you are like, oh my goodness, I trust that person actually more than I thought. I don't even like them, but I trust them, right? How many of you are like, no, some of them were just about spot on. I could tell you that. Yeah. So it's a real mix. And I've gotten this question a lot too, of one fella said in the last workshop, he said, for me, it's contextual. Like, I trust this dude with my money, but I'm not telling him about my marriage. Fair enough. You can have an Uber trustometer score, or you can do it, session by session. It also might change over time. There are some people that as I've gotten to know them, I have trusted them more than the initial check-in. And others, sadly, have broken my trust. This is a very practical tool. I use it all the time, like, should I play pickleball with this guy or not? Like, let's say with a 9. Okay. Anyone who's like 8, 9 and above, 10, I'm usually in. Below an 8, I'm like, a 1, 5, I'm not doing it, right? So this is another one, along with the Calm the Noise tools, that I recommend you use as that instant intuitive tool. But do make sure you're not, right? You want to be grounded and ready to go. All right, so I know that Andy's going to come out here and give me the hook. So let's do one last one. Close your eyes, quick power shower. Any key messages your intuition wants you to know from this moment forward? Go ahead and open your eyes. And the last thing that I'll say is simply, the bottom line is that you already know. The question is why you're not doing it. Thank you very much for having me today. It's been wonderful to be back.
Thank you, Laurie. That's delightful. Okay, this morning's offering will now be given and received. Please remember, we are a self-sustaining congregation and provide all the financial resources for our many ministries. We recognize the spiritual value of generosity and invite you to participate. If you are viewing this service remotely, please use one of the methods shown on the screen. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. And our thanks for all the gifts and given and received for the work of this community. Please stand in body or spirit and sing the closing hymn, May Your Life Be as a Song by Jim Scott.
It's a little more complicated than some of the other rounds we've tried lately. And we were going to do 4 rounds, but it got to be too crazy. So we're hoping anyway. Okay, 3, 4. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing away the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. My wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed through every fate and circumstance. circumstance. May hope lead weary steps to dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing away the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. May fears be turned with keen insight to wisdom for what's just and right. Where sorrow grows, compassion strong, and pains will pass before too long. May the truth and bounds of our diversity serve our richer harmony. May courage hold your heart so true to smile on love when it smiles on you.
May your life be as a song,
May
resounding with
your
the
life
dawn,
be
to
as
sing
a
away the
song,
light and
resounding
softly
with the dawn, to sing away the light,
stars
then
ever
softly
dancing
serenade
in the
the
night.
stars, ever dancing
May
circles
your
in the
life be
night.
as a song,
May your
resounding
life
with
be
the dawn,
as a
to
song,
sing away the
resounding
light
with the
and
dawn, to
softly
sing away the light, then
the stars
softly
ever dancing
serenade the
circles
stars,
in the
ever
night.
dancing circles in the night.
Circles in the night.
How did we do?
Okay, as we prepare to extinguish the chalice, let us recite the valediction. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts, with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in. Please extinguish your chalice at home now. Let us now form a circle and join hands. Laurie? Oh, yes.
All right. So oh, interesting. Okay, this is gonna come out as music. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Bringing peace and joy to the whole earth and all who walk upon it. Trust your intuition. Your bright spirits know the way.